Yeah, but how does it make sense to call it RE engine and then have that translate to reach for the moon? I just don't understand it. How does that make sense? Next time. That was a mistake. This combo's not going to do damage. Woo! Oh, it's reach for the moon engine. Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. But then it's not called the RE engine. It's called the RE. The logo says RE engine. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. It's like I know that it's called the like reach for the moon. It's just that people call it the Resident Evil engine, and this is way easier for people. If I just talk about the reach for the moon engine, nobody's gonna be able to be like, they're gonna be like, okay, what engine is that? If I say Resident Evil engine, it's obvious what I'm talking about. Oh, this time my attack died for it.
Round 2. Fight.
The reach for the moon engine is used by Capcom for all of their games, basically. Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, even Monster Hunter is made with that engine. Was that a checkmate? Yeah, that was a checkmate. Nothing you can do about that. Ooh, he doesn't like these checkmate situations.
You win.
I'm not allowed to challenge like that ever. Not against Luke. Yeah, not against Luke. I just gotta get lucky against Luke. I'm told this matchup is great for Ryu. Yeah, it's amazing.
Fight.
Yeah, by Luke players, right? Luke players who are downplaying the character. All depends on who are you playing against. If you're playing against PC players all the time, that was not worth it. The argument that this is a good matchup in favor of Ryu is all about being able to out-fireball Luke. The problem is you won't actually do that in a real match. It's too likely for this to go wrong, as you can see here. All he needed was one opening, and then I'm in a really bad spot. And it's not like Ryu dominates the fireball game. He barely outpaces Luke here. And so the problem is, if I start throwing a million fireballs against someone who's 3 frames ahead of me, it's gonna get landed jumping at some point and then I die. I'm trying to dash. I tried to dash 5 times and I didn't get it. Do you prefer fight against Luke or Dalsum? Luke over Dalsum. Because Luke is just strong, you know? And this is why he makes it difficult. But Dalsum is just completely stupid against Ryu.
Round 1. Fight!
Ah, big mistake. Wow, that was terrible.
Fight!
It's so fucking easy for Luke to get stray hits like that. Crazy.
Final round. Fight!
Wow, I can't believe I got him to be this desperate. The V reversals really mattered here. And I really hope, and I really hope, you know, like we're gonna see that now. Now we're gonna be seeing that. Is the Reach for the Moon engine gonna be able to give us an experience that is worthy of a proper Street Fighter game? So is the engine gonna have proper input delay? Is Capcom gonna be able to give us a netcode that is functioning? You know, if they actually manage to do that, then that's gonna be amazing, because basically everything that are gonna be building for that engine from that point onwards, they definitely have access to a proper developed rollback netcode implementation. You know, they probably don't need to touch that very much once they have a properly implemented version for Street Fighter 6. If they're gonna make anything, any game, if they develop it for the Reach for the Moon engine, it's basically gonna be a copy-paste, or it's hard to say that. It's never just a copy-paste job, but for the most part, it's gonna be a copy-paste job to have good netcode for the future. Given the long development, so supposedly Street Fighter 6 has been in development since 2018, which is something, by the way, I have mentioned multiple times. I've said at the very least, Street Fighter 6 seems to have been in development since Season 2 of Street Fighter 5, and I happen to be right about it. I know people don't like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but Capcom did good with the net play. It's the same netcode as Street Fighter 5. And here's the shocking truth about that. I truly believe that the netcode in Street Fighter 5 is properly implemented. It's not the netcode that is at fault. It's the backend that they're using for Street Fighter 5 that is introducing lag to the system. And Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite used a different backend, so the problem wasn't there. I've talked about this multiple times, many times, yesterday as well. Ultra Street Fighter 4 had the same problem that Street Fighter 5 had. Starting the moment when they transitioned from Games Windows Live to Steam. That, like the native Steam version of Street Fighter 4, which was Ultra Street Fighter 4, that was the first version that had the same netcode problems that Street Fighter 5 has. You know? Like, if you really think about that for a second, it's kind of shocking if you think about it. Because it just means that it doesn't matter what netcode that you make, whether it's delayed based or rollback, the implementation doesn't seem to matter. If you're introducing a lag in the back end in some way, then it doesn't matter if you make like a good netcode, you know? What kind of troll is this?
Fight!
Really? You're playing on the Kanzuki Beach. Oh, my camera died. Uh-oh, gotta fix that.
Can't wait to see your YBU.
Okay. The Rush G always makes it difficult to play the ground game. I feel like I have to play such a concentrated ground game if I want to overwhelm him. It's so difficult. Amazing conversion. Did you just hit confirm or counter hit crouching medium punch into a DP? How crazy was that? I can't play on a high refresh rate monitor because I'm playing on console, so it's locked to 60 Hz. Like, my monitor can technically do 165 Hz, but I can't utilize that because I'm on PlayStation 5.
Round 1. Fight.
But I'm gonna be playing on a PC somewhat soon, and then I'm gonna be playing on 165 Hz refresh rate. I'm not gonna buy a new monitor with like crazy refresh rate. I could do that, but it's just not worth it, I think. I didn't mean to do that, but okay.
Can you endure the pain? Submerge! Submerge! Now burn! Can you endure the pain? Can you endure the pain? Scatter! Die! KO!
I don't think he was expecting to get punished earlier like that. PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 version are basically the same. They are the same game. They have the exact same input lag because the 2 milliseconds are not going to make a difference. Capcom made, like, they patched the input lag on PlayStation 4 and PC at one point, and they did not change the frame data overall. This is actually what rendered overheads basically useless in Street Fighter V, because they were reactable all of a sudden, plus they were punishable on block. I'm not quite sure what Capcom is actually thinking about when it comes to overheads in Street Fighter V, because they're basically useless the way they are, and they were not designed that way. They just happen to be like that. They just happen to be like that after they reduced the input lag. And then PC players figured out that they can reduce the input lag. They already had a 1 frame advantage. And then they figured out they can actually reduce the input lag even further with a high refresh rate setup. Like, if you have the proper setup, you can. There are a couple of things that you can do to reduce input lag. I didn't do that. Oh wow! Not close enough.
Now burn! Now burn! Submerge! Burn it to submerge! In my grasp!
Eat my crap.
Cryokinesis! In my grasp!
What just happened? Why couldn't I get the punish? That's -7. That was so bad. So, going to be playing Ryu in Street Fighter 6? As always, yes. Garfield, good to see you. That's a big misconception when PlayStation 5 was released. People don't realize unless companies specifically made a PlayStation 5 port, people are just playing the PlayStation 4 version of a game on PlayStation 5. I think people who understand, at least have a bit of technical understanding. Wait, the charge overhead is plus? Wait, he charged his overhead? Really? Wow, I'm stupid then.
Perfect KO. Fight.
Angry now.